If you've ever sat down to write a YouTube script and thought, why does this always take so long? You're not alone. Filming usually isn't the problem. Editing is annoying, sure, but scripting is where a lot of creators quietly get stuck. You open up a blank doc, you know what the video is about, and you might even know the title, but then you start overthinking the hook, the structure, how long it should be, how much detail to include, and before you know it, an hour has gone by and you've maybe written like 3 paragraphs. That's the problem that this video is about. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how I think about using Taja AI to batch 10 scripts at once using a repeatable prompt system. Not by letting AI take over, but by turning scripting into something predictable and way less mentally draining. This is especially useful if you're running multiple channels, publishing weekly, or trying to build a backlog of content without burning yourself out. The goal here is simple. Stop starting from zero every time you write. Why scripting is the real bottleneck. Most people assume that filming is the hardest part of YouTube, but it's not. You can hit record and talk. You can redo a take. You can clean things up in editing. Scripting is different. Scripting requires focus, clarity, and decision making. And the part that wears you down isn't writing sentences. It's making the same decisions over and over again. So how should this video start? Do I need background context? How deep should I go? Is this too long, too short? Am I repeating myself from another video? When you do this once, it's fine. When you do it 10 times in a row, it's exhausting. That's why batching matters so much. Batching doesn't just save time, it saves mental energy. When you batch scripts, you're staying in the same headspace. You already know the tone, you already know the structure, you already know where the video is heading. Instead of constantly switching gears, you're just filling in details. Why most people fail at AI scripting. A lot of creators try AI tools once, get disappointed, and never touch them again. And honestly, that reaction usually makes sense. They type something like, write me a YouTube script about X, and what comes back feels stiff, generic, and clearly written by a machine. So they assume AI just isn't ready. The problem isn't the tool. The problem is the prompt. AI doesn't know what you want unless you tell it clearly, specifically, and consistently. If you give it vague instructions, you get vague results. If you give it structure, it follows structure extremely well. That's where Taja becomes useful. Not because it magically knows your voice, but because it can repeat a system once you build one. The shift from writing scripts to designing a system. The biggest mindset shift is this. You're not trying to write scripts faster. You're trying to design a scripting system that doesn't change every time. Think of it this way. Most of your videos probably already follow a pattern. You open with context, you explain why the topic matters, you break things down step by step, you add examples or commentary, you wrap it up with a takeaway. That structure doesn't need to be reinvented for every video. Once you accept that, scripting becomes less about creativity and more about consistency. Creativity still matters, but that happens inside a framework, not in chaos. What Taja is doing in this workflow. It's acting more like a junior assistant who's really good at following instructions. You're telling it who the content's for, how the video should feel, how it should be structured, how detailed it should be, what topic to apply all of that to. Once you do that, the output becomes predictable, and that's a good thing. Predictability is how you scale. Building the repeatable prompt, the most important part. So this is where most of the work happens, and it's worth taking your time here. A good batching prompt usually has 4 parts. First, you tell it what role it's playing. This helps anchor your output. You're basically saying, here's the lens that you should write through. Second, you define the tone. Not in buzzwords, but in plain language. Something like, write this the way a creator would explain something casually to another creator. No hype, no buzzwords, no sales language. Third, you lock in the structure. And this is huge. You're saying every script should follow this flow. And finally, you leave a placeholder for the topic. Once this prompt works, you save it. You don't tweak it every time. That's how batching actually works. Why one prompt can power 10 or 50 scripts. Here's the part that people underestimate. If your prompt is solid, the topic becomes the only variable. That means same pacing, same tone, same depth, same overall feel. That's how channels feel cohesive. Instead of 10 scripts that feel slightly different, you get 10 scripts that feel like they belong together. That matters a lot if you're building a series or publishing consistently. And if something feels off, you can fix the prompt once, not 10 separate documents. Batching in practice, what this actually looks like. So in a real batching session, you're not multitasking. You're not editing, you're not filming. You sit down with a list of 10 video topics, your saved prompt, a clear goal, scripts only. You run the prompt once per topic. You don't overthink it. You let the AI generate the drafts. By the time you're done, you're not mentally exhausted because you never had to figure out how to write. You just reviewed, and that's a huge difference. Editing instead of writing. This is the win. The biggest benefit of this system isn't speed, it's momentum. Editing a script is easier than writing one. Always. When you edit, you're making decisions from something that already exists. You're tightening phrasing, you're adjusting tone, you're adding your own thoughts. You're not staring at a blank page wondering how to start. Most creators can comfortably clean up 10 AI-assisted scripts in the time it would take to write 2 from scratch, keeping the scripts human. So this is where you slow down a bit. AI will often over-explain, repeat ideas, use filler transitions, but your job is to remove friction, not rewrite everything. When you edit, cut anything that you wouldn't actually say out loud, short and long explanations. Add 1 or 2 personal comments per script. It's usually enough to make the script feel natural. You don't need to make it perfect, you just need to sound like you. Common mistakes that break the system. A few things kill batching fast. Changing the prompt every time is a big one. If you keep tweaking structure, then you're basically starting over. Expecting perfect output is another. The first draft isn't supposed to be final. It's supposed to be usable. And finally, over-prompting. The more rules you add, the more stiff the output becomes. Simple, clear instructions usually work better. The long-term benefit. Content stops feeling heavy. So this is the part that people don't talk about enough. When scripting becomes predictable, content stops feeling like a mental chore. You don't dread it. You don't put it off. You don't overthink it. You just sit down, run the system, and move on. That's how creators consistently publish for years instead of months. So this isn't about replacing your creativity. It's about protecting it. You're removing the repetitive, draining part of content creation so you can focus on filming, storytelling, and actually enjoying the process again. Once you build a repeatable prompt system, scripting stops the bottleneck, and that changes everything. So if you're serious about scaling content without burning out, this is one of the cleanest workflows you can build. So if you want to get started with Taja AI, you'll find a direct link down in the description below. That link is an affiliate link, which means we earn a small commission when you use it at no extra cost to you. And these commissions really help support the channel and allow us to continue to create free content just like this. So if you sign up, we thank you so much in advance. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. Here on the channel, we provide in-depth reviews and comparisons of different SaaS tools to help you find the best software solutions for streamlining your business and boosting your productivity. So be sure to subscribe. But other than that, thanks for watching. We'll see you here in the next video.